How to start a podcast in 2026. And no, it's not what you're thinking. Chances are you're starting a podcast to start a podcast, right? Usually it's something along the lines of, I'm a real estate agent. It makes sense to me to have a real estate podcast. And you're not wrong about that thought, but there's a huge chance you're not thinking about it well enough. The idea of the subject matter that you are an expert in being part of your podcast is a great concept. But also, those of you out there starting a podcast that's not in your expertise, I implore you to do it all that much more. Curiosity is incredible when it comes to podcasting. You don't have to be the know-it-all. And guess what? After 10 years, you're going to learn everything about it. So whether you're an expert or whether you're a newbie, you can totally start a podcast. The other thing is, those of you that are nerds for knitting or nerds for computers or anything else, I implore you to start that podcast too. If you're already a nerd for a subject, chances are you'll hit the end zone that much more. One of the keys to podcasting is consistency. The base level of podcasting is being consistent. Rule number one. So how do you start a podcast in 2026? Well, you don't start one just to start one. You start one with intention. The best analogy I can give you here after hundreds of shows is what would NBC do? And NBC would not just start a show to start a show, right? They would do something as far as a plan. Here we call it a treatment. Basically, the treatment means we go over the concept of the show, and it's not just start a real estate show. We make it a standalone show. The idea here is it could eventually get to syndication. It eventually could get to Netflix. If you just start a podcast to start a podcast, it will not do that. The other thing is within this treatment, the plan has also a target audience, and it looks at competitors in the market. What are shows doing well? What are shows doing differently? What are some things you can take from different shows into yours? Being intentional about the podcast is so important. The name of the game here is compounding audience. If you look different every single episode, then nobody's going to stick around for the next one. If you're not involving your target demographic or your target audience, they're not going to stick around. Here's the bonus to this. If you're talking well enough to your target audience, then the algorithms start to pick up on who that audience is. I explain it to people this way all the time. If I have a 68-year-old man sitting in that chair and I have a 16-year-old woman sitting in that chair there, can I talk to them the same way and have them understand a message? The answer is no. So you need a plan around your podcast. That is absolutely step number one. This is just the first video that we're going to create for you in our blogging series. And we're going to go deep in the depths of how to define your target audience, how to frame a podcast so it sticks, and much, much more. So come on back. Starting a podcast in 2026 is a wonderful idea, and podcasting is only saturated in one way, in the people that quit. So let's keep you consistent. Here we go.